What's going on, guys? Your boy Maze. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, me doing a kind of a showcase here on my collaboration that I made for the Sacred Treasure podcast. If you guys want to see the Sacred Treasure podcast, definitely make sure to check it out. You know, it was a collaboration special, and all the boys, Beats, Sora, Davo, and I, we all made our own collaborations. And in this video, I kind of wanted to show you guys my collaboration, you know, explain my thought process on like everything I made with it. And yeah, it's kind of just going to be a video on that. So if you guys, you know, like these type of, like, you know, making your own collaboration type things, we decided we would do another one as well for the Sacred Treasure podcast. We'll see exactly when we do it again. But yeah, let's hop in though, guys, and let's show you guys my collaboration. So we got Gone Freak. So you guys saw I did do a Hunter x Hunter collab for the, you know, for the collaboration podcast. And so this is Gone. He got the Red Demon Melee link, right? So you got the 280 attack, right? He is red human. So let's hop in and let's go over my boy Gone's kit. So charismatic adventurer Gone Freaks. Passive: I'm going to become the best hunter in the world. Applies enhancement effect on self at the start of the battle. Increases human race allies basic stats by 5% for every human race ally on the battlefield, and enemies are affected with ignite for 2 turns whenever a human ally uses a skill. So pretty much what I was kind of going for here was kind of like a mixture of kind of like Purgatory Melee, but also like Mael passive, and then also Echidna passive and a Lane passive. So let me explain. Applying an enhancement effect, right? Enhancement, as you guys can see, is human allies damage dealt 20%. So I wanted to do kind of like a human damage dealt type of deal here, right? I wanted to make sure that the humans got a pretty substantial buff with this Gone that I was making, and so the main thing that I wanted to kind of, you know, hammer home was that the humans are going to be broken with this unit, right? So enhancement's going to be 20% damage dealt, and he applies 1 enhancement effect on self at the start of the battle, right? So you get 20% human allies damage dealt. So he gets it, his team gets it, he's broken, right? And then the increased human race allies basic stats by 5% for every human race ally on the battlefield is actually from Echidna. So Echidna's passive is the exact same thing, but it's for unknown race characters, right? So I kind of took that off Echidna. I thought it would be fair. I didn't want to give him just like 20% outright. I wanted to kind of make it so that it's based on his allies for the actual basic stat increase, right? And then the final part of his passive here is the blue Elaine part of the passive, and also kind of green Sario link in a way. But enemies are affected with ignite for 2 turns whenever a human ally uses a skill. And so this kind of, you know, idea I got was pretty much like whenever you use a skill and you have green Sario link, or you're using green Sario, it applies the debuff before the card actually hits. So I was kind of thinking like, okay, maybe a human ally uses a skill and then it already applies the ignites as they're dealing the damage, which would be pretty broken, right? You know, it'd be pretty cool. And then as you guys can see, the damage by targets plus 10% can be stacked. I didn't put like a cap on it, but I'd probably say 5 ignites per target, just to, you know, not to be too broken there. And then the passive itself can be used in all content if it was to be used. And then yeah, Gone is red and human, so yeah, you guys can kind of get an idea of like how you would run Gone. You would definitely run him on like a full human team, and I think if the anniversary unit had some type of a passive like this, they'd be crazy, right? They'd be super crazy. So yeah, that is the passive right there for Gone. Moving on to the card effects here, we have inflict scorch damage equal to 500% of attack on 1 enemy. Scorch is going to be 1.3% additional damage for every percent of remaining HP on self, and then additional damage equal to 30% of final damage on all enemies. So yeah, ultimate Essenor's attack card, you know, you can't miss with that. This is scissors, right? If you guys don't know, in the anime, Gon does, I think it's Jean Ken Ro, and that's the rock paper scissors moves, and he has pretty much each of them with his enhancer, you know, Nen ability, right? And so he's able to do these effects. So, you know, Scorch, super broken, has to be able to do it. I don't want to show the ultimate yet. Paper though, inflicts blaze damage equal to 250% of attack on all enemies and infects for 2 turns. So this card right here, I took inspiration from Mael AoE, where Mael AoE does spike damage, but it also applies the sunspot. So I was thinking, okay, let me make blaze, right? And then also have an additional effect on top of it. So I gave it Infect. So, you know, Infect obviously makes it so that the enemy cannot heal or lifesteal, pretty much restricting their recovery related stats. And then Blaze is 25% damage dealt per ignite on the target, which coincides super well with the passive, obviously getting those, you know, those ignites, which is really nice. So very, very cool, right? So you do the big blaze damage, you get the infect, so they can't heal. You do big damage against the enemies because they're you're applying the you know, the ignites, and yeah. And then we move on to Gon's ultimate here, limitation transformation rock, right? So you got the rock paper scissors. You guys can kind of see. So we got Jean Can Ro, right? For his ultimate though, the hero's HP is automatically dropped to 1 and the hero's HP related stats are reduced to 0%. Inflicts overpowered damage equal to 750% of attack on all enemies. So what I was kind of going for here was just a complete nuke. So as you guys can see in the ultimate, this is adult Gon. And so what I was kind of going for here was that, you know, Gon transforms into adult Gon. When he does that, he doesn't have, you know, much time. And it's also the fact that he literally cannot do anything after his, you know, time runs out. After he's done the adult Gon transformation, it's a wrap. That's why I didn't make him like an actual transformation. I just made him like a straight up, you know, transform in the ultimate as you're dealing the damage. Because I wanted to just kind of, you know, hammer home exactly what, you know, adult Gon's about. Which is, you know, the moment he became adult Gon and started beating up Pizzo, he was going crazy. And, you know, at that point, he was screwed because he lost all his Nen by the time he was done. Spoiler alert. And so yeah, so that is why I made it so that he loses all his HP related stats, because I didn't want him to ult as he's lifestealing his full health bar, right? Because his HP gets dropped to 1 so that you get the extra overpower damage, and because it's at 6 out of 6, it would be a 1% damage, additional damage for every percent of remaining HP missing, and then additional damage equal to 50%. So I upgraded this from 0.8% and 30% to 1% and 50%, right? And then the effect itself overpowers 750% of attack on all enemies, which is really broken. This is ultimate Essenor's effect on his AoE skill, but this is on an ultimate and the character's no matter what doing the max amount of damage because he's at 1 HP. So very, very broken ultimate, but I had to limit it to the point of like the HP related stats being reduced so that Gon doesn't lifesteal and he stays at 1 HP, because I don't want him to be, you know, even after the ultimate still like doing whatever he's doing, right? So there is some counterplay to this. Like if you're using like you know, as an example, like if you're using like ultimate Essenor and he has his revive up and you ult with this, it's just gonna take off 1 revive, and then Gon only has 1 HP, he can't lifesteal, right? You know, maybe I should have made it so that after he ults, he also just cannot attack for that turn or something. I feel like this might be a little too broken, but you know, I had to give him the benefit of the doubt, right, guys? Had to give him the benefit of the doubt. But yeah. And then moving on to his Holy Relic here, increases the hero's basic stats by 12% for every surviving ally, and then increases all stats of the hero when an ally dies. And this is going to be green Brunhild passive, and I gave it as his Holy Relic. So you guys can see here that Gon is pretty crazy, man. So, you know, he has the Ignites, obviously the really broken ultimate, the Blaze, Scorch, and then he also has the basic stat increase here. He is just pretty crazy, man. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about Gon in the comment section below, man. I think this is pretty cool. I do also talk about him on the podcast as well, so if you guys want to hear, you know, whatever else I explained about him on the podcast, you can definitely check it out. But yeah, let's move on to the next character I made for the collaboration, and that is Killua. So I had to do Gon and Killua, the duo, right? He got the Merlin link, so we got the extra 20% crit chance. Very, very nice. Moving on to his kit here, let's actually zoom in and let's go over Protective Assassin Killua Zoldyck. So his passive is, I'm not an assassin anymore, I'm a hunter. Every time the hero's ultimate move gauge is completely filled, applies an effect on allies which evades an enemy attack or debuff attack skill once for 1 turn. For every ally who receives evade, increase the hero's all stats by 6% for 2 turns. So this passive, the inspiration I got for this was mainly from, you know, Blue Roxy, right? And the reason why I got that inspiration was because Killua is super fast when he goes Godspeed. And this character Killua, by the way, is just automatically, like, whenever he uses skills, he's Godspeed. When he's not using skills, he's just normal Killua, okay? So that's like the whole like point of the character. So he's kind of already transformed in a sense, right? So yeah, pretty much the way it works is that when you get maximum ultimate move gauge, the entire team gets evade for that 1 turn. But because everyone on the team got evade, you actually gain, what is that, 6, 12, 18% all stats. You know, I didn't even calculate myself. You guys, 18% all stats, and each of them are separate blue buffs. So you get 3 blue buffs towards the next skill here, which you guys can see is Amplify, right? So that's his passive, right? So you get the so you have the evade buff, right, which is 1 blue buff, and then you have, because the entire team got the evade, you actually get an extra 3 all stats buffs. And if you're in demonic beast battle, let's say, you're probably getting 4 all stats buffs, because every character is getting it, including Killua, and it counts towards himself as well. So you'd get, what is that, 6, 12, 18, 24% basic stats in demonic beast battle, and in a PvP you would probably get 18%, right, if you can push that ultimate, right? So yes. Moving on, his first skill here is going to be Amplify Single Target. Damage dealt plus 30% per active buff on self. That's pretty standard, right? It's going to be his Whirlwind effect on Godspeed. And then for his second skill here, he's going to have Speed of Lightning. So it's going to increase basic stats by 50% for 3 turns and gains evasion for 1 turn. Evade is going to be immune to attack and debuff attack skills. And this evasion coincides with his passive, where he gains all stats when he applies an evade on himself. And so if you guys are kind of seeing what I'm going for here, is that when he uses this buff skill right here, he's actually going to gain another all stats stack as well. And the thing is with these stacks for all stats, they can pretty much stack infinitely, I'd say, because they're each 2 turn long. So they're not going to be forever. Each of them stack for 2 turns, so you have them available. But I feel like, you know, getting that evade, you just need to rank 2 of this buff skill, and you can get that extra 6% all stats on top of what you already have going on, which is very, very nice. And then moving on to his ultimate here, we got Godspeed. Inflict electric shock damage equal to 750% of attack on all enemies. And electric shock is pretty much just the magic burst effect from Purgatory Meliodas. So the exact same effect that he has. I just gave it to Killua, but I didn't give him the damage cap. I didn't want him to, you know, have that extra damage cap. I felt like, you know, it'd be a little bit too broken. But I thought, you know, just giving him the straight up attack would have been, you know, really nice. And then obviously ignoring crit resistance and crit defense is a lot better than, you know, lowering it, because it means that you can hit Mael with this. You can hit, you know, pretty much characters that do not get stat lowered. You can ignore their stats and just deal the damage, which I think is really, really good. And this ultimate is just super broken, so had to give it to him. And then we move to the Holy Relic here, guys. For every orb filled in the ultimate move gauge when a hero increases rank of, uses, or moves a skill, increases crit chance and crit damage by 10% for 3 turns up to 5 times. And when the hero's ultimate move gauge is completely filled, removes debuffs and gains debuff immunity for 1 turn. So pretty much what I got going on here is that Killua gets the, I think it's the Milim Holy Relic, right, for the first bit. And then the end part here, actually changed the Milim's end part is when she gets maximum ultimate move gauge. She gets a 30% max HP heal. I actually changed that to removing debuffs and getting debuff immunity. So that becomes, so it'd be what? 1 extra blue buff as well, from the debuff immunity. And each of these crit chance, crit damage buffs are blue buffs as well. So it'd be an extra 5 blue buffs plus the debuff immunity at 6. So you have 6 blue buffs from the Holy Relic. You have basic stat plus the evade. That's 4 from the you know, the buff skill right there. So that's 10. And then if you get the all stat stacks for every evade you have, that's an extra like up to 4, right? Or if you could stack it more from, you know, getting Speed of Lightning off. Like, Killua is going to be the craziest amplified character in the entire game. And pretty much what I was going for is that he's just going to be crazy amplified, right? And my whole, like, you know, thought process with the evade was that he gets evade because he's super fast as Godspeed. He pretty much has like ultra instinct. He can just dodge and fluidly like never take hits, right? So that's kind of why, like, the thought process of like my idea for Killua. And I think he would be absolutely insane in the game. As you can see, he would be used for everything in the game as well, because he's all just like Gon. So him and Gon both have the you know, used in all content effect, which is nice. So yeah, I would say overall, my favorite of the two, probably Killua, because I did, you know, I made him first, and I was really like, you know, I just love Amplify, man. Who doesn't love Amplify? Come on, man. Amplify is one of the coolest things in Grand Cross, where you just like stack a ton of buffs and then just do a ton of damage. Killua would definitely be one of those characters where he would be dealing a ton of damage on like a guild boss for like a nuke strategy or anything like that. And he's also a human character, but he doesn't need to be run with human. Killua is more of like a character you could kind of run with anybody, whereas like Gon, I kind of restricted to the human team, just so that they get that extra buff that they need. But yeah, that is pretty much it though, guys, for my collaboration. Let me know what you guys think about these characters in the comment section below. How would you guys change them, or what do you guys like about the kits of the characters that I showcased to you guys here? And yeah, let me know if you guys want to see more of these. We do them on the Sacred Treasure podcast. We'll probably do another one. I don't know exactly when, but we'll do it on another dead week for the podcast. So check out the podcast if you guys want to see the other guys' collabs, and they'll probably make some videos on it too as well. But yeah, check out the podcast if you haven't already for the Sacred Treasure podcast. And with that out of the way, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a great rest of your day.